The man of the hour, Graham. It's an absolute pleasure talking to you here for the premiere for the Journey Life of a Professional Footballer documentary. First of all, huge congratulations on all the success that you've achieved with Project Promotions. First of all, how are you doing?
Listen, I'm blown away. I've got to be honest with you. This was not expected. This was not planned. This has just completely come out of the blue. And listen, I'm proud, man. I'm proud. A lot of hard work, a lot of late nights, and I'm sitting here today in the cinema and I'm watching a film that we have produced over probably 9 months, travelled all around the country, reconnected with players, been through a lot of stuff, a lot of deep moments and a lot of tough conversations, and to be here today is it's special, and I'm here with all my family and all my close friends and stuff, so it's a really, really incredible night, and I'm a proud man tonight.
And before we talk a bit more about the documentary and the work that you've done on the documentary, I want to talk a bit more about the inspiration behind what you do with product promotions. Obviously, you're a former footballer yourself. What inspired you to get involved with all of this and start all of this up?
Do you know what? It was probably over a period of time where I was having conversations with ex-players. Look, players trust me. I'm no angel. I've made mistakes. I've always been very honest about that, and some have been quite documented. I'm a family man, 4 wonderful children and a wife. Been with her nearly 30 years, went to school with her. But I've lost my way at times, and I think players, teammates, people I've never played with have reached out to me, and we've had conversations, and they've been quite emotional, they've been quite deep. And I think when I hear and I listen to people's state of mind and where they're at in their life, I just want to help. And I thought, how can I do that? What way can I do that? Is there a concept? Is there an idea that I can get us all together? And I just felt like the boxing crossover with the football just made perfect sense. There's a lot of footballers I played with. They love their boxing. They're all competitive, and they need something to train for. They need a purpose. And I think ultimately over the last sort of 9 months, 2 events I've done, I've seen the differences made in their lives, in their personality, in their makeup, in their body language. It looks like they've found themselves again. And that's what makes me keep driving forward, wanting to do more, wanting to help more. And obviously the charity side of it for me is like the most beautiful side of it. When I'm walking into these hospitals and I'm seeing these children, and I was doing charity work before, I was running marathons, half marathons, and I was raising £1,500, £1,800, asking my family and friends to donate constantly. And it was a bit of a burden, so I thought, you know what, I want to make a real difference. How can I raise £500,000? People said, you're mad. I said, okay. I said, I've got an idea. So I put it into practice and I went to work, and we've raised 200 grand in just over 6 months, and £500,000's a target, and me being me, I will get there by hook or by crook.
And it's such an inspiration in terms of what you're doing, and it's so inspiring to hear what you put together, really. I've got to ask you, though, what makes boxing and football so symbiotic? Because you've mentioned here with some of the fighters that they're doing the things that they've seen their fighters growing up do. So what makes this collaboration between football and boxing so symbiotic? And why is it that men sort of gravitate towards boxing?
Do you know what? Boxing is a pure sport. It's an art. It's something that I grew up watching. A lot of my sporting idols actually are not from the football world. They are from the boxing world. I love Mike Tyson. I love Ricky Hatton. I love Joe Calzaghe. I love Nazim. I remember as a kid growing up sitting on the sofa late nights with my dad watching the boxing, and he said to me about the discipline and the dedication you need, because it's you and only you when you get in that ring. And I think that's tough. That's tough. When you're a football player, there's plenty of other people to blame. And I think that's the goalkeeper in me, because the goalkeeper is pretty isolated and a complete individual in a team. I think I can relate the goalkeeping angle to the boxing angle, and I love winners and losers. I love winning on my own. It's so satisfying. And I think the training to be a boxer and the dedication and the hard work and the sacrifice is like no other. So I just felt as though it was a good crossover with a lot of the footballers, and it's proven to be exactly that.
And just quickly before we finish off, really, I sort of want to ask you, you know, in terms of, you know, what you put together, how you've managed to bring people together. I got to ask you, if there is one thing that you want people to take away from all of this, from the documentary to the events that you've sort of put on over the last year or so, what would it be?
So listen, for me, it was never about Amazon. It was never about documentaries. It was never about fame. It was never about big names. It's always been consistent. It's always been, you reach out to me and I can help, I'm going to go and do that. So you can be a Premier League player, you can be an England player, you can play in the lower tier of English football. If I can do anything to help and support you, to put your life back on track or give you a purpose, then you can pick the phone up and I'll do that for you. And it's been life-changing to loads. So listen, my motivation was never ever money, fame, success. It's just happened naturally and organically. But listen, for me, I wanna one day, I've got 4 children, and when I played football and I won games and I came home and I was full of energy and I was full of pride, that only lasts overnight. You wake up the next day and then, you know, you've got to go and win again next weekend. But now, there's longevity in this. I'm constantly, you know, coming home and telling my children and my wife and my mum stories of hospital visits and conversations and, you know, so many different things that, you know, that makes me really proud. And listen, I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm grateful, and I'm very fortunate to have people around me that have backed me and supported me, and long may it continue.
Well, we could talk all day, but it's such an honour talking to you and seeing what you've put together, really. When the next event comes, I have to make it there, really. Just talk briefly about the next event that you're going to put together, the next Night I Remember event together. Any plans on that so far, and what have you got in the pipeline?
Yeah, so we're all done. We're all confirmed. 22nd of October, we're going back to the Grosvenor House in Mayfair. We've got 6 bouts now because I've had quite a bit of interest. So we've gone from 5 to 6 because I've never turned no one down. It will run pretty much the same as before, and then post London, we're going to go to Edinburgh and Glasgow. Not too sure where yet, but we're going to go up there and we're going to do exactly the same again for lads that are based up in Scotland. So listen, it's growing. Who knows? Maybe one day we take it abroad. Who knows? But I'm going to continue to do it until it's not possible.